Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zachary, back bringing some more NBA news and updates. Anyways, it's the day before the NBA playoffs start, so you already know that we got a heck of a lot to talk about, so let's not waste any time, let's just get into this. Let's go. For our first story of the day, the Sacramento Kings, who just had their best season in over a decade, finishing with a record of 39-43, their best overall record since the 05-06 season when they won 44 games, didn't waste any time making some changes this offseason, as even though once again they just had their best season record-wise in over a decade, that didn't stop the Sacramento Kings from firing their head coach Dave Joerger. Yep, we got reports out yesterday that Dave Joerger has officially been canned as the head coach of the Sacramento Kings. And the president of basketball operations for the Sacramento Kings, Vlade Divac, had this to say as to the reason why Dave Joerger was fired. After evaluating the season, I determined that we need to move in a different direction in order to take us to the next level. On behalf of the entire Kings organization, I want to thank Dave for his contributions to our team and I wish him all the best. Sure didn't take him too long to evaluate the season, did it? Anyways, I guess part of the reason Dave Joerger was fired was because of how the team was performing post All-Star break. After the All-Star break, they weren't nearly as good as they were prior to the All-Star break, finishing with a record of 9-16. So that's why Dave Joerger got fired, or at least that's what Vlade Divac would like people to think. That was the easiest explanation that he could give. But the real reason is more so because Dave Joerger just didn't get along with the front office for the Sacramento Kings. He and the Kings management didn't see eye to eye on how this team should be built, as we also got reports out saying that Dave Joerger really didn't like Buddy Hield, and even went as far as to say that he wanted the team to trade Buddy Hield before the season started. And if you remember back towards the beginning of the season, we were also getting reports out that the Kings front office was upset at Dave Joerger for bringing Marvin Bagley, the number 2 overall pick of this year's draft class, off the bench and not giving him starters minutes. And even more reports saying that the players of the Sacramento Kings had been frustrated over the inconsistent minutes that they were getting under Dave Joerger. So even though he did lead this team to their most successful season in over a decade, it's clear to see that he and the front office were far from being on the same page. And ultimately, that is what got him canned. As for who the Kings had their eye on to be their next head coach, well, we also did get reports out saying that the Sacramento Kings will be interested in Luke Walton if he is indeed let go by the Los Angeles Lakers. And speaking of the Los Angeles Lakers, and next up in the news, we just can't go a single day without having some Los Angeles Lakers drama, it seems. I mean, what did we expect when LeBron James went to the Los Angeles Lakers? Nothing but drama, and that's pretty much all that we have to cover when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. Nothing but absolute drama. And this time the drama once again stems from Anthony Davis and the possibility of him going to the Los Angeles Lakers, as we just got some pretty big reports out saying that Anthony Davis does approve of Luke Walton to be the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. And this report comes to us from The Athletic, as they said sources around the team said it was apparent that the young players no longer trusted LeBron James, believing he was operating behind the scenes to get them traded to New Orleans. At one point, some in Walton circles feared Rich Paul was trying to use the Davis situation to leverage a coaching change, with the premise being that his arrival would require a high caliber coach. But the Lakers received back channel information that Davis liked Walton, and that relieved pressure on the third-year coach. So essentially what this said was that a divide grew between the players on the Los Angeles Lakers as well as LeBron James over the idea of the players getting traded for Anthony Davis. They weren't too fond of LeBron coming to LA and trying to trade them all away for AD. And we also got some more verification of this yesterday from a couple of players on the Los Angeles Lakers, as Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Tyson Chandler both kind of spoke up on the matter, with KCP admitting that there was a lot of discord amongst the Los Angeles Lakers during the time of the trade deadline because they all feared they were about to get traded for Anthony Davis. At the trade deadline, everybody kind of lost themselves. They were all worried about it. And I felt like after that, everybody kind of relaxed, calmed down, and just started playing basketball and not worrying about all of the outside talk. And the veteran Tyson Chandler pretty much echoed the same thoughts, as he says there was a combination of injuries and trade rumors that did derail the Lakers this season. So for the Lakers, this season was just an absolute train wreck from the sound of things. There was no chemistry between the coach and his players. There was no chemistry amongst the players and other players. There was no chemistry amongst the front office and the players players, and there was no chemistry amongst the front office and the coaching staff either. The Los Angeles Lakers this season were literally just one massive mess, and this whole Anthony Davis situation and all the trade rumors did not help out whatsoever. Also in the news, we have some very tough news for any Boston Celtics fans out there. Like, this is some devastating news, as it seems no matter what they do or how hard they try, the Celtics can never enter the playoffs fully healthy, as we just got reports out saying that the Boston Celtics just suffered a massive blow, with Adrian Wojnarowski reporting that the Celtics guard and one of their best defensive aces and hustle players, Marcus Smart, could miss the entire first 2 rounds of the NBA playoffs with a torn oblique muscle in his left side. And essentially, according to Google, that's a tear in one of his abdomen muscles, and it will sideline him for at least the next 4 to 6 weeks. So that is an absolutely massive blow for the Boston Celtics, since Marcus Smart is kind of part of the heart and soul of this Boston Celtics team, especially on the defensive end. For our next story of the day, one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA, and someone who definitely deserves to be an all-star at some point in his career, Mike Conley just said in his press conference yesterday that, well, to put it frankly, he no longer wants any part in the Grizzlies' rebuilding process, and that it's time for him to move on from the Memphis Grizzlies. Here's what he had to say. I want to win a championship, number one. I love Jaren Jackson Jr. I've done a lot of that, been a part of it, but at some point, you have to pass the torch. So pretty much Mike Conley said, yo, I love Memphis. I have nothing personal against anyone here. The city is all my love towards Memphis and the city, but I'm at the stage of my career where I can no longer afford to stick through yet another rebuilding process. And I think that's something that all of us NBA fans and the entire NBA world can agree upon. The Memphis Grizzlies did try and trade Mike Conley along with Marc Gasol at the NBA trade deadline, but they couldn't find any good takers or any offers that they liked, so they just held on to him. But either this offseason or at some point leading up to the trade deadline in 2020, there's no doubt in my mind that Mike Conley will be traded. His contract is going to make him a little difficult to trade, but there are teams out there definitely interested in adding Mike Conley to their roster, so he will be traded, and hopefully the Memphis Grizzlies do right by Mike Conley and trade him somewhere where he will at the very least be able to make the playoffs. Next up in the news, Kemba Walker is also uncertain of his future with the team that he's currently on, the Charlotte Hornets. Okay, so the Charlotte Hornets once again missed the NBA playoffs, this time by the skin of their teeth. It came down to the last night of the NBA. It was either going to be the Detroit Pistons or the Charlotte Hornets who are going to make the playoffs, and of course it wound up being the Detroit Pistons. And now with that in mind, Kemba Walker, who has said throughout his entire career that he would love to win a championship with the Charlotte Hornets, remain with the Charlotte Hornets in his entire career, is sounding a heck of a lot less sure about that now. As when he was asked whether or not he plans on returning to the Charlotte Hornets after this offseason, since he will be an unrestricted free agent and have the ability to sign anywhere he wants, this is what he had to say. I have no feeling right now. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to expect. I guess it's a lot of different emotions bottled up into one. I'm not sure. I don't know. I do want to be competitive because I do want to be able to play in the playoffs, so I think that would have some influence on my decision. I want to win. I want to win. Coming off a season where he averaged a career high 25.6 points per game, as well as just under 6 assists and 4.5 rebounds, and really almost single-handedly got the Charlotte Hornets team into the playoffs, there will be no shortage of teams when it comes to teams interested in signing Kemba Walker. And I'm sure a majority of the teams that are interested in signing Kemba Walker would give him a much better shot of being able to compete than he's had with the Hornets up until this point of his career. And for our final story of the day, one of the saddest videos to ever grace the internet was just released yesterday, as we got some footage released by ESPN of Derrick Rose finding out for the first time that he had been traded from the Chicago Bulls to the New York Knicks. And this happened back in 2016, and when Derrick Rose found out in this video, the man was clearly absolutely devastated. I'm going to try my best to play some video footage right now for you guys. Hopefully it doesn't get copyrighted.
What's up, B? You lying. There. Yeah,
Okay, or you
just in awe.
Derrick Rose is just one of those players that you have to feel for. The man's been through so much, and not just in his NBA career, but in his life as a whole. He's been through so much, and he's been knocked down so many times. But the one thing about Derrick Rose that everyone has to respect is no matter how many times he does get knocked down, he gets right back up. Every single time without fail, Derrick Rose rises. And that's exactly why he should be an inspiration to everyone. And there has been some talk about Derrick Rose possibly returning to the Chicago Bulls as a free agent this summer. Whether or not that happens, we'll just have to wait and see. I don't think anyone questions, though, at some point Derrick Rose will return to the Bulls and end his NBA career in Chicago. And that is going to wrap up everything that we had to talk about today. Hope you guys did enjoy the video, and if you did, go ahead and destroy, absolutely obliterate that like button, as well as make sure that you are subscribed to the channel with post notifications turned on so you can stay updated with everything that goes on in the NBA. Like I said, the NBA playoffs start tomorrow, so the real season is finally about to begin, and things are just going to get crazier and crazier, so you're definitely going to want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on all the madness that is set to take place. That's enough talking for today, though. Thank you once again for watching. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but with all of that being said, until next time, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!